What's up, Darts here, watching the Watchers. Now, my last video about this, well, basically trying to find out why those people were shouting outside 10 Downing Street when Theresa May was giving a Brexit talk. But anyway, basically it's climate protesters, and I said in the last video that, maybe chemtrail conspiracy has gone mainstream. But actually, doing my own little research here real quickly, I don't see any mention of chemtrails whatsoever. What I see is actually them basically supporting the idea that the world is warming up because of global warming and CO2. But and there's no mention of the artificial sky with the huge swaths of hundreds of miles of sky, like the video I did the other day. That's my protest. That the skies are artificially being changed. That's in my opinion, they're causing major changes in the weather. You only have to look up and see it. Let's have a remind ourselves real quickly of that. You see, that's what I'm protesting about. Not global damn warming, which is a byproduct of this. That sky right there. Okay, that is not natural. So why aren't any of these protesters saying anything about this whatsoever? No, they're just pushing the global warming narrative. Let's read the article though. Just give a reminder of that sky. Now, go and see the previous video linked in the end cards for this, for this footage here, where hundreds of miles pretty much was covered by this artificial sky. And very interestingly, I forgot to mention in that video though, is the effect of these artificial clouds. They have like a rainbow effect. You could just see it there. It's not normal cloud. There's a rainbow effect, proving in my mind that it's reflective particles in there, possibly the aluminium coated glass, which is a patented thing, an idea put forth for moderating the sun coming onto the earth. Maybe I'll link that article in the description if I can find it. But let's just go back to this article on the BBC, because from what I saw, I didn't see any mention whatsoever of artificial sky, chemtrails, contrails, chemtrails, contrails. Nothing. No mention of that. The whole entire, hundreds of miles of sky with artificial clouds, obviously going to change the weather. So let's read it. Protesters have been arrested after defacing government buildings and sue to glue themselves to gates of Downing Street. At least 27 environmental campaigners, including Labour councillors and NHS staff, were arrested, police said. Let me just do this. You can pause it if you want to read it. There isn't really much there. Number of activists were arrested earlier this week at the headquarters of Business Department. A Labour councillor, Skeena Rother, who was arrested along with her daughter, said, "We are on the threshold of social climate collapse." But not one of you are talking about chemtrails. Do you know why I know they're not talking about chemtrails? Because you'd put chemtrails on the spray paint. Related topics. So this is the other protest the other day, on the 12th of November. No mention of chemtrails. Environmental activists who have blockaded the UK's energy department in London say 22 people have been arrested during the protest. Met Police confirmed that at least 8 protesters have been denied the UK. Is seen as a leader in policies to reduce greenhouse gases. It's funny because the UK to me seems to be the leader in chemtrails or artificial manipulation of the sky, along with America and Canada. Nope, don't see any mention whatsoever of chemtrails. Nope. Or anybody even pointing up to the sky and showing footage of the artificial cloud cover, which would quite obviously change the weather, even if that was contrails, which it's not. But even if it was, you're telling me that's not going to change the weather? And on the next video, basically, I'll be maybe looking more into this. But I also want to show this guy. Oh, no. That tranny. No, not that tranny. Oh, get off my screen. Go away. Tranny, 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 tranny. Go away. Yeah, this guy here, right? So there's been some reaction already on YouTube about this protest, but even big YouTube, or relatively large YouTubers, 13,000 subs, it's quite big, reasonably big. But they're pushing the global warming is caused by CO2 thing as well. No mention of chemtrails or the artificial sky, which I find quite interesting. Let's have a quick listen to what this dude's saying, shall we? Yeah.
Enough about global warming, and they're absolutely right. We're not doing enough. The good news is we can still do some things to help. The bad news is we're way behind schedule, and it doesn't look like that's changed. And if things keep going this way, our world is going to look totally different in 50 years. Is humanity guaranteed? Not necessarily. I think humanity is still going to be around for a long time, but it's going to be different, and there's going to be some painful transitions. Based on what I've been told from scientists that are way smarter than me in this regard. So, I mean, good for these protesters. We're not doing enough at government level. I think that's something that there's pretty much general consensus on, amidst people that take climate change seriously.
The people who take climate change seriously know for a fact that it's not just CO2 which is causing the world's weather to change. It's artificial manipulation of the sky. Yeah, weather modification, pumping chemicals in the sky, patented programs, right, that are supposed to be in the experimental stage, but quite obviously are being implemented, in my opinion. I mean, that there, the rainbow effect you get there, that's not just water vapor or normal cloud. There's something in there creating that effect. Oh well, that's my opinion anyway. These climate change protesters ignoring the chemtrail theory altogether. Interesting.